Maybe we can look at it.
Okay. I'm on.
All right, we are live.
Appreciate you guys joining us in the special call Zoom meeting. Knockhead Fiscal Court, December 29th, 2022, 2 p.m. Call to order. Roll call, Michael.
We have Tim Bates, Kevin Waddles, Jeff Dobson, Avery Sherman, and Kevin Jacobs.
Start at the word of prayer, please. Most kind and gracious Heavenly Master, Lord, I want to thank you for another day that you give us, woke us up, give us a breath of life, Lord. Thank you for home and our families, all you do for us, Lord. Lord, most of all, thank you for sending your only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, there on the cross. May have everlasting eternal life, Lord. Thank you for washing us in blood. Father, in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Let's go ahead and do the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag,
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Justice for all.
First on the agenda is the bid award for the waste removal services. Got one bid here right now. They want to, they come in if they want to.
Josh, come here a minute. Josh, tell Josh, come here a minute. Are you still there? I've lost this. I tried that. Put your thing.
Well, following your increase, this is CPI.
I'm sorry.
On these 24 and 25.
Yes, that is a CPI increase that is based upon the consumer price index that is posted at the end of a year, and it says pretty much what the cost of living increase is. So I believe early in 2019, 2020, it was less than 1%. Currently, I think most recently it's been 7%. So it depends on what's going on in the world at the time.
Yeah. Guys here, see everything. The Rumpke. Hear me, Avery? Lost Avery?
Yes.
There you are. The Rumpke, the first year proposal is $23.50 a month. with a $20 senior citizen. Commercial curbside service, limit to 10 bags, $44 a month. Regular walk-up service, $40 a month for senior citizens. A 5-gallon trash cart is $3.50 a month per cart. Year 24 and 25, it will be a cost of living increase. It does not specify of what the that increase will be. Churches will continue to receive 1 time a week curbside service with 2 carts and no charge. Rumpke will remit Knott County Fiscal Court 10% of gross receipts collected each month. Reporting will be supplied monthly. Rumpke will continue to offer service to the following facilities: Ball Creek Fire Department, Valley View Mennonite Church, Ball Creek Park, Knott County Water and Sewer, Knott County Garage, Knott County Park, Knott County Fiscal Court, Knott County Sportsplex, Knott County Justice Center, Knott County Fiscal Court, ATV Training Center, Knott County Human Service Center, 1 time a week. The utility service will be charged at rates listed with the container price scheduled. Rumpke will continue to operate Knott County Convenience Center for the Knott County Fiscal Court. Open 2 times Saturday per month, from 8 to 12. You pay the fiscal court 35 cents per ton for all out of county waste disposal. Not at the Knott County Convenience Center and Lawrence residents bring waste. Well, off the Knott County Free Dump Day 2 times per year at no additional charge. Business will be eligible for disposal of 1 standard size truckload of material during each event at no cost. Monthly fuel surcharge will be implemented as residential and commercial accounts based on the Department of Energy's Midwest diesel fuel average and adjusted monthly. Rumpke's fuel surcharge grid has been attached for your review. Looks like at today's diesel fuel price, you're looking at a 25% increase on the fuel surcharge. You guys put some input, talk.
Is that the only bid?
It's the only bid at this time. Yeah, we can either accept or chose to rebid.
I recommend we rebid.
What I say rebid.
Is nobody interested in bidding other than them?
We've had 2 other companies reach out, but we didn't receive anything at this time.
About the future, about next month?
We did discuss, actually, I got them in the room with me here. We did send out an email last week to try to do a like a 3-month extension. They did say that they would do a month-to-month basis on a pickup contract. Like I said, it's on a month-to-month. Just want to speak in, talk.
I understand the rates are an increase.
Mhm.
But I do want to state that we've done a little research about prices in the general area. And most recently, there's a landfill in in London, Kentucky, and their rates for their residents next to a landfill are $20. And that's a recent bid.
Mhm.
So I know it's an increase. I completely understand that, but this is about what the going rate is for garbage removal. And it is a huge investment for anybody to come in to an area and supply dumpsters, carts, everything like that, and service it. So with the rising fuel costs, which actually the fuel surcharge this month is 21%. I just got an email today. They adjusted every month. But with the rising fuel costs and labor costs and things like that, this is about the going rate throughout all our service region for us and for other boards.
What do you think, Avery, Calvin?
Like I said, I recommend that we rebid.
All righty, I'll give them a message, but.
Calvin?
I rebid.
You don't work in.
Rebid.
All right, let's get a motion to rebid.
I'll make a
I'll
motion.
make one. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
My husband, he done that.
So we will extend for 60 days, but it will be at the rates that are on the bid.
So they would do the extended for 60 days. At these rates here, if you guys can see these. Y'all want to screenshot that or anything, Kevin? Avery?
No, that's fine.
Let's get it back here in the middle again there. Let's see.
Can you see it?
There you go.
I can email it to you too.
All right, that'll work.
Hold on a minute, Judge. Let me get a copy of that, Judge. Hey, Judge. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me get a picture of that.
There you go. Can you see it?
Thank you.
That's an increase in what, Judge?
Huh?
That's an increase in what on each and one of them?
Let's see.
Yeah, I read you guys a little bit handy.
Oh, well, you can fix it. It's not good.
Looks like the standard household right now is $20. Senior citizens is $12. It's going to go up to $23.50, and senior rates is going to go from $12 up to $20.
Any reason for that senior jump?
Almost 50%.
It said 50% of the senior customers is the seniors.
And they typically seniors put out a less amount of garbage, which justifies a lesser amount and not counting.
It's not just not counting.
It's this entire area of seniors put out as much.
I've got this proposal, and
They said they put out less garbage.
so they generally would put out less garbage, but here they put out as much or more.
That's because, they have their families with them as well.
How do they know that? What's their data on that? That seems,
So,
that doesn't seem legitimate data to me. Maybe they got a reason they know how to figure that out.
You want to
If they would like to, sure. See?
Yeah, I'm right over here.
Hello, gentlemen.
I just had a question. It's Tim Bates, County Attorney. What kind of data do you use to come to the conclusion that seniors put out as much or more garbage than everybody else?
Are you asking how do we know that the seniors put out more? Or
Yes.
the seniors put out just as much. So we typically pick up, on average, it's about 10 bags per resident. So usually 350 gallons. So after running a route, we know what we're dumping. We weigh those trucks, we know what we're dumping. So on average, almost everybody's putting out, whether they're putting out the same amount, whether they're considered seniors or not. So our drivers run these routes. Our route managers, do audits. We have an audit team that comes out every so often to make sure, the route sheets are correct and make sure we're picking up everywhere we're supposed to. So they take notes on that and keep record of that.
Can we see that data? Because that just doesn't jive with what I see. But I'm just having a small sample size.
I
I know older
can,
folks, they don't put out a lot of garbage.
no, and typically they don't. And that
They
is
don't.
why, a senior rate would have been very much justified if, they put out less garbage. But I believe down here, you have, families live together down here. They probably, maybe they don't have, they're not just, a husband and wife living
When
together.
you say seniors, what age group are you talking about? Are you using?
So the seniors in Knott County rate was 60 plus. We bring everything that we pick up in Knott County goes to the transfer station here in Knott County. And so these trucks get weighed and we see what comes out of Knott County and goes into the landfill.
So somebody that's over 60, you're keeping record of how many pieces of garbage they put out? Somebody's doing that?
So yes, when on a route sheet, it says, senior service. So when we have audit teams come down, either they're coming down to make sure our drivers are being safe and doing, everything correctly. And they also audit to make sure we're picking up who we're supposed to and not who we're not supposed to. And so these audit teams come through and they say, this is what was picked up at every house essentially. And they go through and.
Will you share that with the court? Because that seems like a big issue for them to have to
Is that something?
decide on the seniors. That's a big jump.
I don't, I pick the routes myself.
I mean, I'll have to check and see what kind of,
I just don't buy it. I mean, and you may be right. It's hard to sell for me to say that.
well, and I believe we have the participation rate in Knott County at about 50 to 60% overall. That may be people two houses setting in together. So there's a lot of factors that go into that, but at the curb, I can promise you we're picking up the same amount regardless of age.
So are you willing to share that data with the court?
If I can get it, I will see what data they have and I will absolutely share that.
I guess we're stuck with them for a few months, guys. They're the only game in town.
But again, I have done my due diligence on the pricing because that's as part of my job is to do what's right with Rumpke and what's right for the counties that I service. And I wanted to make sure that these rates are something that, Rumpke is in line with what's going on in the area. And anything that has been bid or increased in this past year and a half, this is the going rates. I did a bid recently.
They got some more bids. And what you say might bear out. Just any bid.
Right. I understand what you're saying, but I can tell you that we have one in near the Lexington area that went out to bid and their prices had been locked in since 2017. So imagine their increase. So, you know, you got to realize these rates have been locked in since the contract was negotiated at the end of 2019. These rates have been the same since 2019.
20.
Well, we signed the contract in 2019 to start 2020. Yeah. So those rates, those prices were based upon what was going on in the world at the time at the end of 2019, early 2020.
So the regular rate went up about $3. The senior rate went up quite a bit. How about the other two, Judge? What were the other 2 or 3?
Commercial did not change.
Commercial didn't change.
No.
And the other, what was the other item? Is there
Looks
one more?
like the residential rate went from 20 to 23.50 and the senior rate's going from $12 to $20.
That's the tough one to accept. It's hard to accept that based on what, you know, just the eye test, but there's data that shows otherwise.
Oh, that's what I, you know, with the fuel surcharge added on top of that too, you're looking at an additional.
I just did the calculation on the regular residential. It'd be about an extra $4 with what's current.
Extra $4.
Yes.
So actually it's going to be $27.50 and $24.
But I will say the fuel surcharge was 26. Now it's 21. So it's trending downwards
And it changes monthly.
and it changes monthly. If it keeps trending downwards.
Fuel ain't gonna.
Gas goes to diesel, ain't it?
That's based on the diesel prices, the fuel charge was, and you know, it dropped from 26 to 21 in a month.
But we have, like I said, we voted to rebid, and do you guys want to resubmit this or?
So anytime there's a new bid, everything starts over
Mhm.
with, you know, so we will. Now, of course, I want to ask the question. So this was based upon, this is our proposal
Mhm.
on overall service with nothing to say, okay, this is what we want. This is what we have to have. This is what, you know, are you guys wanting to do that again?
Wanting the service that we're getting now.
Okay. The same residential, same commercial.
Is there anything that you would recommend they not do that would affect price that wouldn't make that much difference?
You know, I'm speaking without having powers that be in front of me, of course, but there are a couple things in there that, you know, can be adjusted and changed that should affect the rates to go down. There's, you know, one of them is a franchise fee. There's a 10% franchise fee. I can tell you in my general area that I take care of, which is Central and Eastern Kentucky, standard is between 3 and 5% of a franchise fee. That's standard. Some of my municipalities elect to have 0. Depends on what you guys want. And as far as that goes. And again, I'm not for sure about this one either, but possibly the 30, you know, we pay you guys for every ton of trash that we pick up in other counties that it's not that comes through our the Knott County transfer station. We pay you guys 35 cents a ton. That is something that can be discussed. I don't know how much it will affect it, but I know it should affect the rates.
It's yard, not ton.
I'm sorry, 35 cents a yard. I mean, I'd love to sit down with all of you all and say, okay, let's go. I'll go line by line with you and say, is this something you want? Is this something you would like to change? Is this something?
Tim, what do you think about our, we have a special called meeting in January. Bring these folks in and have a one-on-one discussion, and then we just, you know, the court's already voted to put it back for bid.
You talking about Rumpke?
Yeah, if that's, yeah, just something that would change the rate.
That sounds like a good idea because you bid it once and you only got one bidder. That's problematic right there.
But, will you guys be available for,
Absolutely.
or do you need, what about if they just have a sit down meeting with me and you, Tim, instead of the whole fiscal court?
Well, the court wants to rebid though, so I mean.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I can kind of assist you guys on what to put
Like
in.
she,
the-
I mean, she's talking about like they could assist on things that we could change in the,
So you're talking about not rebidding, but trying to
oh,
negotiate
we're
with
going
them?
to, you obviously, we already voted to rebid. But,
I can help point out things that will affect your rates in the bid. That, you know, if you ask for this instead of this, or if you require this instead of this, it will make the, you know, could affect the rates in a positive manner for you all. And that would be standard for any company, you know, any company that has this instead of this, it would make the rates better.
Well, we're having a deal with Rumpke for the immediate future. Might as well sit down and talk to them about some of this stuff because we're
you
gonna
want
have
the full, you want the
for
full
the
fiscal
60 days.
Well, I think we got a new fiscal court. We'll just bring them in, sit down, and that way they've got an input too. You be available for that?
Absolutely.
What do you think? We get sworn on the 3rd. What do you think about that following week? Sometime, Tim, we'll have a meeting, just a special call, sit down meeting.
How about we just do it on the 3rd? Just have the meeting on the 3rd. What time we're right after the swearing?
I'm a me.
I have to be in Letcher County at 1 o'clock. So I could come over that morning, or what time's your swearing?
11.
11. Or I could be here possibly 3:30, 4 on the 3rd.
If they can be here at 3 o'clock, 3.
Will it be pushing it?
I think we put it before.
Or I'm free the whole day the next day, January 4th.
How about earlier that morning?
They are, but that new court won't be. Well,
They can
yeah, I done
listen.
swore them in. I done swore them in.
Yeah.
Why don't we have a meeting at 9 o'clock or
With just, you know, us to sit down and discuss, and then you can have your special meeting.
at 9 o'clock, then we'll go across and get sworn in.
For the ceremonial swearing in.
Cause I done swore all these guys in. You won't take effect till January 1, but
Yeah, that's fine.
9 o'clock,
Sounds good to me.
9 o'clock. That work? Tim,
That'll work.
Calvin?
Yep.
All right, Michael, can you get that out to those new guys?
Yeah, I'll send it out. I'll send it out tonight or tomorrow.
We'll have one at 9 o'clock, and I guess we'll have the other one at what, 12:30? Or do you just want to do it all at the 9 o'clock meeting?
I'd just knock it all out in one and be done with it.
Okay, that'll work.
As long as they're already sworn in and
If they're legally in office,
Yeah.
there's no reason to do two.
Okay, that'll work.
that's just for ceremony.
9 o'clock.
Sounds good.
All right, sounds good, boys. Next on the agenda is the payment approvals, which is in your packets there. So contractor payment approval. One which will be the Huntington Steel, that's on an 80/20 emergency project. Uh, got the gravel bill, got that, first one on there was actually from the beginning, just a late bill that got turned in. That was, the guys bought chainsaws and some pole saws and stuff to clean the roads and right of ways. Second one is that YPK Adventures of, the rental of 10 side by sides. Was the first, 30 days of the flood, do transportation, medical supplies, and necessity needs. Fourth is our hand shoe on the cleanup in Middle Fork quicksand. Seventh is Markel, is Laurel Fork work. 8 is Herb's contracting of punching. 9 is ZNS construction. Work in, I think, Booger Branch, maybe, couple more hollows. Don't have the invoice right in front of me. 10th is Roger Hall flood cleanup in punching as well. And Short Fork. 7th is CNH. I think they was in Mullins Branch and Laurel Fork. On those invoices. Questions? As I discussed, the YPK Adventures. Discussed with ER Assist. I did contact Laura Matula before the meeting to discuss with her the payment. And she said that Justin Staley, one of her employees, had it in the Cat B project. She had worked through to approve before anything was signed. But I just wanted to talk with you guys about all these projects. This is a really big claims list, but I know there's a lot of big bills to come yet. I know we've over $500,000 in King Creek for drill steel rail crib projects. A lot of other riprap projects. So any questions on those bills? Calvin,
No.
Avery,
No,
you got anything, Kevin?
No, I don't have anything.
Tim,
I got a couple things unrelated to this items. Can I call you here in a second?
relating to this?
No, it's in regard to some recovery work.
Any questions on these invoices here? Get a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Calvin makes a motion. Get a second.
I'll say.
Avery seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Get a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Get a second.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.